What up? What's up, guys? It's Bishop here with a quick video for y'all about Andy Mineo's upcoming sophomore album, Uncomfortable. Many of you know, if you are a fan of CHH or even Andy Mineo separately, you know that he released a single for the album, Uncomfortable. Great single. I think people get a little twisted sometimes when someone releases a single or even a full album after days, weeks, months, years prepping for it, and then like that same day someone does an album review, right? It's like, oh, all that time into just a couple hours maybe, and you can give a full review. So I wanted to wait a while to review the track Uncomfortable and maybe talk about the track listing a little bit, but still only waiting, a week or 2 weeks really isn't enough time. But I've had a lot of messages sent to me, hey, what do you think about Uncomfortable? I thought it was a dope track. Illmind producing the whole album. Production's going to be key. Obviously, Andy's albums, Here's for Sale to Neverland, both of those, in my opinion, were just dope. And he's progressively got better. And so I think there's a big expectation and hype for this album. But I don't think he's going to let us down. Truthfully, I don't think the album, even just based off hearing the single and seeing the track listing and knowing the production and knowing that these guys don't put out filler, that it's going to be dope. I'm pumped for it. Super amped for it. If we just look at the track listing, I don't have a good short-term memory, so I'm just going to run down Uncomfortable, which is a single that was released. Only 13 tracks. Some people are like, ah, man, I wish there'd be more tracks, but honestly, you got to respect. It was announced that there was a demo version for a song called Day Ones, and he decided not to go with that track. I believe that was the name of the title because it sounded too poppy. So if you're an artist like Andy who's growing, and like I said in my other video about him, I think he's potentially next to win a Grammy coming out of CHH. He's going to do great on billboards, top iTunes, and all that with this album, without a doubt. For him to only have 13 tracks, there's a reason, and he wants probably these tracks are going to be all killer, no filler, and he doesn't want to, elude it or dilute it or whatever the word is with tracks that aren't hip hop sounding. So I respect that a lot, but. Uncomfortable, Uptown, Now I Know, Desperados featuring Mally music. Some people say there's not rappers on this album. Mally has bars. Hear My Heart, David's Roof, Rat Race featuring John. Know That's Right, Vendetta, Ghost, and then Love. Strange Motions with Willis Stevens. Make Me a Believer with Mac. I'm pretty excited for Desperados with Mally, only because I can see that being a Tell the World type song that potentially you could hear land on K-Love maybe or Air One, but I'm super pumped for the album. I like the cover. Now it's very easy for me to say, okay, if you look at his arms, his hands, he's forming that triangle, and there's only that one eye shown. Boom, Illuminati, right? But let's not be ridiculous. I think that. It's going to be his best album to date. The Uncomfortable track, the single, what I really liked about it, besides the production, is lyrically, I thought it was on point. His flow was great, matched the beat perfectly, and then sometimes it was slower, sometimes faster, and so I think it was just a sample of what we're going to hear throughout the album. Love the lyric about picket signs saying, God hates fags, when that's not Christ-like at all. Definitely love that lyric. Love the very last words of the track saying, if you want to be comfortable, don't sacrifice, don't love, etc. And so I think a lot of people, especially believers, I think this album might even be almost a target to people claiming that they follow Christ, whereas a lot of other CHH albums are more built around for those who don't believe. Now, I'm not saying that's in all the cases, and I'm not saying that's for sure the case of this album, but I think he's going to push believers a little bit in a good way, in a challenging way, on what they believe and how they live, because a lot of believers live very comfortable. don't sacrifice much, don't love one another, go to church, to check it off the list or whatever. And I think this is going to be a real, authentic album. And just from hearing Uncomfortable, I felt a little convicted in myself because I took a step back and I said, okay, how am I living comfortable? What could make me uncomfortable? And by making that decision, would that glorify God? So I encourage you guys to maybe do the same and pray for Andy as this album comes out, because obviously he's going to get a lot of press, and so definitely be in prayers for him, Reach, and everybody affiliated with the album. Let me know your thoughts of the track listing and the single Uncomfortable. Love you guys. Thanks for watching.